Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? Foots the King here, and as always, I got to get this out the way early. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Well, the draft is finally over. What an experience it's been. Whether you like the picks, whether you hate the picks, it's an era of optimism. It's an era of, okay, got some fresh blood in here. We kind of saw what the Cowboys wanted to do. And with that, I wanted to kind of hit on some up-and-coming off-season and training camp battles. Now, this time last year, the whole craze was Jalen Smith and how he's going to develop with his injury, and if he's running well. And then Ryan Switzer, our punt return ace, and you got him as a steal in the 4th round. He could help Dak. And you look up, Ryan Switzer's off the team. It's a whole new look. Des Bryant is no longer a Cowboy. Jason Witten will probably be crazy to pass up the ESPN job. So there's going to be a lot of competition, not just waiting for training camp, but off-season. Who's putting in the work? Who knows the playbook? Who has an idea of what they're doing out there? And who, frankly, can develop quick enough to get on the field. So I wanted to look at just an early kind of glimpse of some positional battles that we're going to have to follow throughout. Now, I didn't want to hit D-line. We don't know what's going to happen with Randy Gregory. At this point, it's like I've told myself I'm going to refrain from even bringing up Randy Gregory on this channel because I don't want to give up on him, but I don't want to get my hopes up either. So it's one of those things. It's like if he's there, great. If he's not, we got to move forward. The Dorrance Armstrong pick is kind of like a similar player to Randy Gregory. There's going to be not really a logjam at the end, but I think the defensive line, because of the rotation, it'll kind of work itself out even with Jihad Ward. And actually, I believe the same thing with safety and corner. So I didn't put that in as a battle because I think right now X Woods is your guy. And I think the rotation will be between Heath and Kayvon. But I think that X Woods is your free and your roamer. And depending on what happens with Byron, Anthony Brown, and Jordan Lewis, maybe you kick Jordan Lewis inside. Byron is your outside guy. I like Jordan Lewis outside, but they both have position flex, and then maybe you can put Anthony Brown in the nickel. Nonetheless, here are some of the battles that I really wanted to hit on as far as how the draft has kind of affected these players and, some questions that we need to ask moving forward and keep our eye on. Who's going to replace Witt? You brought in Dalton Schultz. Got the notes right here. You have Blake Jarwin, you have Jeff Swain, and of course, in the mystery of all of them, Rico Gathers. I think that the team likes Rico. I don't think that they love Rico. I think Rico has some maturing to do as a tight end, and I believe that this Dalton Schultz pick is really interesting. So everything you hear from David Shaw is that they asked him to be more of an inline guy just because that's what the Stanford offense does. They like to run the ball with Bryce Love, and for everything that you see on tape and even that you've heard when it comes to Dalton Schultz is that he's an extremely powerful and gritty blocker. So that's gonna be really a battle to watch. Can he come in? Can he make the most out of his reps? Preseason will be very important. Not gonna get overexcited with OTAs and 101s and all these things. You got to see it translate to the field in preseason. So with that said, I do think that he could push for time, especially if Rico is injured, can't take a hit. The Kayvon Frazier hit kind of put him out for a long period of time. And maybe they were hiding Rico. Maybe Rico will be the passing threat. Schultz, Swain, one of these other guys will be the blocking threat. But that's definitely a battle to watch. Who's going to play opposite of Allen Hurns? Now, you guys know my thoughts on Michael Gallup. I think right now he's a better receiver than Terrence Williams. But there are some out there, and I'm sure there's fans out there who still want to give Terrence Williams a chance. Noah Brown. Everybody believes that Noah Brown is the forgotten guy. Is that the case? Listen, I like Noah Brown. I just don't think that he's better than Gallup in anything. And he already couldn't take Terrence Williams' position. Maybe that's because the Cowboys haven't really given him a shot. But we'll see what happens. Maybe one of these guys take Allen Hurns' position. Injuries are going to happen. So that'll be definitely a battle to watch as far as who's going to play opposite of Allen Hurns, who's really going to replace that Dez production. It'll be fun. The wide receiver position this year will be fun. Terrence Williams is going on rants on Twitter. He's retweeting everybody who quote-unquote doubted him. So we'll have to see and keep an eye on that. Penny, get out. Go. My cat's so so annoying sometimes, guys. All right, who's gonna spell Zeke, or who's gonna compliment Zeke? Now, I know that we like what Rod Smith did towards the end of the year last year. Powerful runner, can catch the ball, had the big game against the Giants. But there's some growing sentiment that this Bo Scarborough pick is kind of like a steal. Powerful back. Now, how he makes the team, I don't know if he could do much for you on special teams. But if you watch him at Alabama, he was never a starter because of the backs that they have. Najee Harris, Damian Harrison, one of the two. Alabama has all those 5-star backs. He was never the guy. And he's really a Brandon Jacobs cop, but sometimes he doesn't run as powerful as I would like him to. Nonetheless, you do see times where when he plays behind his pads, he can flat out move a pile. Well, with our offensive line, that could be kind of a niche, especially when you're trying to spell Zeke. So I'm just saying, watch that battle moving forward. If he gets in preseason, he's going to get a lot of time running the ball. Stephen Jones already came out and said that Zeke won't see the field much. So, you know, and that's what we need. We need Zeke fresh for this whole year. We're going to ride that horse. So, but I'm just saying, when it comes to Scarborough, has the Alabama pedigree. Maybe he can come in the league, be a third down, goal line type of guy, 4th and 1 type of guy, just a bruiser, just lean on you if he can ever. And if he can learn how to maximize that strength and play to that power all the time. He can learn how to maximize that strength and play to that power all the time. Here's the hot take. Keeping the fire under Dak. Listen, guys. I think that the Cowboys in recent years made a big mistake not keeping competition for Dez Bryant and not keeping competition for Tony Romo. And then you saw what happened when they did with Dak. Tony got hurt. Dak never gave the job back. Well, now it's time to do the same thing for Dak Prescott. And I like the fact that this Cooper Rush, Mike White battle is going to be a thing, because I'm telling you right now, I'm working on a video for Mike White. He is pro ready. He has the size. He's bigger than Dak and Cooper as far as height-wise. He climbs the pocket so well. He's so smooth. Never is rattled. So that's going to be a battle to watch. Like, I'm telling you now. And if he's able to take Cooper's job, get ready. I'm not saying that he's taking Dak's job. But, again, I like drafting the quarterback, because if he develops and if he's somebody who's blowing preseason up, you can use him for trade bait. You can use him to flip a pick. And that's important. Green Bay does it. New England does it. The Bengals just did it with McCarron. So just think about this. I like the Mike White-Cooper Rush battle in the offseason. Mike White's going to get a lot of reps in preseason, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Remember this video. And last but not least, who's going to play in the middle? So Leighton Vander Esch was picked to play linebacker, right? But what position? Now, they love him as a Mike, they love him as a Sam, and they love him as a Weak. That's the whole thing. He can play all 3 positions. He moves well in space. I thought that Jalen towards the end played some Mike well, but now I'm hearing that they want to put him as a Sam and also let him rush off the edge a little bit. He did that at Notre Dame, so this isn't really a battle, but it's more of like a reordering of the linebackers. A lot of times, well, what's happened is now people have kind of forgotten that Jalen was your Mike last year. But moving forward, I just think that the Cowboys wanted to throw bodies at the position. Can't forget about Joe Thomas as well. He showed some things on film. I broke his film down. So what's going to happen with this linebacker core? Who's going to be the starters? Is it going to be Leighton, Jalen at Sam, Sean at Will? We know we just want Sean running to the ball. He'll beat anybody to the ball. But then we need somebody in that middle to kind of play with power, but also really know what they're doing. It'll be interesting to watch Leighton year 1 and to see if the game is too fast for him. I know he's an ascending player. I know every year he got better at Boise State. But we really need to see when he gets out there week 1 with Ezekiel Elliott, how well does he move against really, really good competition. It's one thing to blow up the combine. It's one thing to do it in the Mountain West. But doggone it, this is the pros. This is the pros. So that's going to be a battle to watch. Trust me on that. So all in all, I just wanted to get your guys' takes on these battles. Tight end, receiver, quarterback, running back, and linebacker. You want to create competition amongst your team. You don't want anyone feeling safe. And I think that the Cowboys are trying to do that. And I think that with this draft, they have done that. And so competition brings out the best of anybody, because if you don't want a guy who doesn't want to compete because he's gonna quit on you in the game, and then what it does is it's still sharp and still. Everybody's forced to step their game up. Coaches, players, equipment men, they better have that mouthpiece ready. All right, Cowboys fans, you guys let me know what you think. And they better have them cleats ready, and they better make sure that they stretch these guys. I don't want to hear about no hamstrings, none of that. Drink your water, drink a smoothie, something. All right, Cowboys fans, let me know what you guys think of this video. Like, share, subscribe, get in the comments. Let's talk about battles. All right, y'all. Peace.